Hey everyone, RJ here. Welcome back to the channel, and today I'll be doing an unboxing and taking a first look at the all-new Umidigi A11 Pro Max. Okay, so yes, you heard that right. This is called the A11 Pro Max. Ring any bells? Yep. So anyway, this phone here just released. As far as I know, I have been waiting for this phone to release, and I found it on Amazon. I will throw a link down below in the description if you're interested in this phone. And so yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it now. I don't know much about the specs of this phone. However, it's good that the specs are on the back here. These here are the only specs here that I will read off. You can see here that it runs the MediaTek Helio G80 octa-core processor. So the processor, pretty solid. I've used it before and it's a very good processor. This has Android 11. This has a 4 gig or an 8 gigabyte RAM model. This is the 8 gigabytes of RAM model with 128 gigabytes of onboard storage, and it has dual nano SIM card and TF card or SD card slot. So really nice stuff there. Got a 5150 milliamp hour battery. The screen is a 6.8 inch Full HD Plus 2460 by 1080. Now I think that the display is a 20 by 5 by 9 aspect ratio, so I kind of like that. Now for the camera, you got a triple camera setup. You got a 48 megapixel plus 16 megapixel ultra wide, and I believe the 5 megapixel is a macro lens and a 24 megapixel front camera sensor. It also has an infrared thermometer 2.0 on the back, which I'll show you here in a little bit. Now this here is not a 5G device. This is a 4G LTE device, which 4G LTE is still fine. Okay, here in 2021, no big deal with that. But you can see there are all the bands. There's a few missing, like bands 14, band 71, stuff like that. But you know, it's got a lot of the US bands. And I will also test this out on Verizon because it says it's compatible with Verizon. So yeah, with all that being said, let's just go ahead right now and take the top off of the box and look at the phone. Now you'll see right here the A11 Pro Max. So a lot of these phone names kind of, you know, intertwining with each other and everything, but it's whatever. So we'll go ahead right now, pull the phone out of the box, and we'll see what and all comes in the box here. So it's got, of course, your Beyond Dreams. So it comes with just your booklets and stuff and your SIM ejection tool there. And of course you do get the wall adapter in the box, which is nice. It does feature 10 watt semi-fast charging, and of course your USB Type A to USB Type C red cable here, and also comes pre-installed here with a case. So we'll take a look at all of that. I'll get all this cleaned up and we'll look at the phone. Okay, so with the phone in hand, first impressions of it by holding it. Now, this is a pretty massive phone, as you can see. I mean, 6.8 inch display, full HD. Now, they claim this is an AG matte glass here on the back with a metal frame. Now, look at the frame here. I mean, you can see how squared off it is, and it gives me certain vibes of a different kind of phone, if you know what I mean. But honestly, I think it looks really good, and this comes in this frost gray or a mist blue. Now you got this big imprint here, Beyond Dreams, with the little Umidigi logo here. Now in the back, of course, you got your triple camera setup, which of course is your 48 megapixel main sensor. You got your other sensors there, and up here is your infrared thermometer, which is a pretty cool little feature. Fine, I ain't gonna lie. On the right here, got your power button and volume rocker. On top, you got nothing but antenna bands. On the left, you got your SIM and SD card tray, along with a dedicated button there for different kind of apps. And on the bottom is your USB Type-C charging port, headphone jack, microphone, and bottom firing speaker. So let's go ahead, see if it's got any juice. Now this does have a fingerprint scanner. I believe it's over here on the side. So it's got face unlock as well. So depending on how that works. But yeah, Umidigi phones are coming a long way. So I'll go ahead, get it all set up, and I'll come back when it's finished. Okay, so we're back and all set up now and ready to go. Now, I do want to say first that I'll be giving the price of this phone somewhere near the end of the video, so be sure to stay tuned and watch the video to get pricing and just, like I said, just get my first impressions here of this phone, because it seems to be pretty solid. Now, yes, it does come with just a regular generic, case. We'll go ahead and throw it on the phone here. Pretty snug, as you can see there, it fits fine. It is a fingerprint magnet there, as you can see, but you can still see how good the phone looks and everything with this case. So it is nice that it throw, a very cheap case in there. I do want to say that I really wish, even this is an international version or an international phone, it is considered a global phone. And so it would be nice if case makers would actually make cases for phones like these, because these are actually, really good devices, So, yeah. Anyway, now on the back here, of course, you will see your triple camera setup right there with your main 48 megapixel camera. You got your flash, your other two lenses there. And up here, of course, is your little thermometer lens. We'll test that out here in a minute, kind of cool. Now, looking at the design, this gives me a vibe of a different phone that I ain't got to mention, because you can just look at it here and kind of tell what it kind of reminds you of. So, yeah, but still a really nice feel in the hand. I love the way it looks and the way it feels. It's very tall. It's a very tall phone, but it's a 20 by 5 by 9 aspect ratio. Now, testing the fingerprint scanner out, you can just touch it here. It'll come right on, no issues whatsoever. Also got since I'm left-handed, I have my index finger, and it works just fine there as well. So yeah, now face unlock. So we'll go ahead and test that right now. We'll go ahead and turn the phone on, and there you go. Opens right up, no issues. Also has raised to wake. We'll go ahead and raise it up now, and there you go. It's quick. It's very quick. No issues whatsoever. Now the side button over there, of course, if you press it once, it does go into the thermometer, which I'll go into all of that here in just a moment. Now look at this display. Full 1080p display, and it's very crisp. It's very vibrant. There is really no issue seeing this phone at the screen. It looks really good. So yeah, now we'll go ahead right now and we'll just check out the wallpapers that you can actually get with this phone to see how the screen looks. Now you can see there how it just kind of pops out. The screen looks very solid. It looks very good, and they make some really good screens here on, look at that screen. That just looks really good. Looks really nice. There's a bunch of wallpapers here. Yeah, really nice stuff. So plenty of wallpapers here to choose from. I think I want to cut it on that one just because it looks nice. And we'll set it to home and lock screen. And there you go. Very beautiful, very clear. No issues there. Now pulling the drop down. Already got a software update or system update. So really nice to see that. Got your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, not disturb, flashlight. So of course, flashlight's always nice. It's nice and bright here. And over here scrolling, you got your airplane mode, screencast, screen recorder, dark theme, screenshot. You can also go in here and edit those, and you can adjust whatever you want to, just like that. So plenty of features here in this phone. This is pretty much a basic stock experience. There's really no skin over it as far as I know. But of course, up top here, you got your accounts, network and internet, connected devices. So you can go in here. Now there is no NFC on this device. You get your Bluetooth, cast, printing, Chromebook, nearby share, Android Auto, typical stuff you see on phones here in 2021. You have your apps and smart key here. So here you go. Single click is for your thermometer, but you can use all of these or other things that are installed. So yeah, double click here. Zello, not really sure what that is, but you can turn all this stuff off if you don't want to use it at all. But like open flashlight for double tap and stuff like that, which is nice. You can just double click it here and the flashlight comes on, and double click it again. And okay, let's see why There we go. Double click it again, and of course, that happens. So, anyway, let's back out of that. You have your smart assistant. So, you got your system navigation. So, you have your 3-button navigation for your back, home, and recents button. 2-button navigation here, which, and of course, your gesture navigation, which we're going to definitely use. You have your screen record. So, if you press that, you got record and narration, optional feedback, and record time of 5, 10, or 30 minutes. So, yeah, screenshot. So, screenshot settings, screenshot sound on or off, stuff like that. Emergency rescue, navigation bar, stuff like that. Now, down here at the battery. Now, a 5150 milliamp hour battery. Pretty solid. You know, it's got 10-watt semi-fast charging, so not expecting a whole lot there. But, you know, we'll see what happens, you know, with that. Now, down here at display, of course, you got mirror vision. Now, mirror vision is pretty cool here. Little button up here. You got your picture mode. So, you got your standard, got your vivid, and user mode. So, when you go into user mode, all this stuff here opens up. You can change your contrast, saturation, picture brightness, sharpness, temperature. You can change everything to your likeness here on what you want your screen to look like. Now, for video enhancement, I can't really tell here what it's doing, because when I turn it on or turn it off, it really don't do anything at the moment. So I'm not really sure what the deal is with that. You also get your blue light defender here as well. So now when you turn this here on, you got a bar here that makes it warmer, makes it cooler, and all of that. So a lot of stuff you can do here with the display on this phone here. So we'll back out of that. And we will just turn that back to standard mode for the time being. Okay, so now you got your brightness level, dark theme. Let's turn that on. It looks so much better. Adaptive brightness, of course, typical stuff here. Lift to wake, screensaver. Typical stuff that you always see. Now, sound. Now, unfortunately, this does only have a single bottom firing speaker. You know, for the price of the phone, you know, and phones I've seen for this price tag has stereo speakers nowadays, especially, you know, where we're at right now in cell phone technology. You know, a single bottom firing speaker should be a thing of the past, but that's just my personal opinion. But we'll do a sound test here in just a moment. Now, this has 128 gigabytes of storage, and 17.69 gigabytes has already been used out of that. But you can add an SD card, so no issues there. Got your privacy, security. So here's where you add your PIN pattern or password, fingerprints, in your face unlock. Now, you know, I get a lot of comments saying, you know, can I turn off the fingerprint, turn off face unlock, turn off the pattern, pin, or password? And, you know, when you buy a phone that's got those options, you ain't got to set up nothing, okay? You ain't got to use any of that. You can use your phone without any protection whatsoever. Not really sure why you would do that, but you can if you so choose. So you got smart lock and all that kind of stuff there. Got your accessibility, so everything here for those, you know, who need accessibility options here. It's got everything that you need, just like all phones nowadays do. Got your DuraSpeed on or off. So yeah, I did run a Geekbench 5 test. I'll show you that here in just a moment as well. Now you got your system. So we'll go in here and look at the gestures, which is just the same thing. Quick open camera and prevent ringing. Yeah, nothing major. System update to Android 11. Now here at About Phone, you will see the A11 Pro Max. You will see that the brand is Umidigi, running 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage. So, you know, pretty solid. Now, this does run the MediaTek Helio G80 processor. Now, don't let that deter you away from a phone like this if you're interested in a phone like this. The G80 is a very competent processor that works very well, and I've not had an issue with. I've used G80s, the G90s, and they all seem to work very well. And couple that with 8 gigabytes of RAM, you know, I'm expecting some really good performance here out of this phone. Now, pop in here into the dialer for just a second. Won't spend much time here. Just your basic dialer. Now, there's no SIM card in here, so I will test out call quality, how it sounds, speakerphone, and of course, reception and stuff like that here on this phone. Now, I did run a Geekbench 5 test, and I'll show you that right now. Now, when you see these scores, they do not look very impressive, okay? 337 single core and 1184 multi-core. That don't sound very impressive. However, benchmark scores are just scores, okay? They're not going to, detail how your phone's going to react and how your phone's going to act on a day-to-day usage. That's why I'm going to put those paces, run it with games and high-end mode and stuff like that to see how it's going to run. But that's the scores that you can expect right now. Of course, this is a brand new phone just set up, so maybe the test will go up, maybe they'll go back down. I don't know, but we'll keep testing it and see how it does. Now, opening up the this little thermometer here, you can choose between people or objects. So, like if I push objects and I want to just do the temperature of this table here, well, Celsius. You see how the table is. Now, if I want to measure my hand here, let's see what we get. 97.2. So we just keep pressing the button. And it's pretty steady there at 97 degrees. So I wouldn't say that it's, of course, dead accurate, but, it's kind of a cool little gadget to have. So before I get out of here, let's take a brief look here at the camera situation. Now, you got your beauty mode, you got video mode. Now, I'm interested to see what we can record in. And it looks like that we can only record in full HD, 1920 by 1080, 720, 480, and 288. So I don't see a 60 frames per second here. Very few settings here. But it's just whatever for that. Okay. Now here in the picture, get your AI settings up there, and here of course you can choose your picture size, 48 megapixels at 4:3. It goes down from there. So really 12 megapixels is probably the real megapixels you're going to be shooting at, to be honest. But you have that there. Watermark, your zero shutter delay, anti-shake, and all that kind of stuff there. So got your portrait mode, of course, and you got your extras for your night mode, pro mode. So you get pro modes on phones that are in this price range. You can change up the ISO, the auto white balance, all that stuff. So it's surprising that other Pro phones don't have that feature. But yeah, the Umidigi A11 Pro Max seems to be pretty solid right now. I'm going to load it down with all my apps, do some really hard testing on this phone. Now, right now, currently, I'm hoping that the promotion is still going on. But if you look at this on Amazon, and I will throw the link down below in the description, right now you can get it for $249.99. So yeah, there it is. Umidigi A11 Pro Max. Let me know below in the comment section what y'all think of this phone. I apologize it was so long. I intend for these videos to be shorter, but they always end up being longer than expected. But if you watched all the way through, thank you so much. I sure appreciate it. If it was helpful and informative in any way, hit that like button. Any questions that you may have, feel free to leave them down below. If you're new around here, consider subscribing and clicking that bell. I sure would appreciate it. Y'all have a good one, and thanks for watching.